The hour fast approaches. I await your word.
Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on then. Propose. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape. Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quentin would probably call me one of his. But yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quentin can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience. Would you?
Of course, Uncle.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be...
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford, Mike Will. Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. And there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle. The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in? His interests were certainly varied. This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it, or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
Let's see, shall we?
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
don't know. Your wits are dull, so let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait! Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about. Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try. Ready, girl? Run like the wind. Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by Akashic. I need to hurry. Have care. This must be the orphanage. Hopefully the registry is still here. It's locked. I should look around some more before I start breaking down doors. This is nothing short of torture. Disposed of. Wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder he survived this place. I need to find that registry. This reads like a suicide note. Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out. Forked white tree. This must be the place. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. Let's see. This must be the registry. So many names. This place was a slaughterhouse. But where is the architect of all this misery? It was only a matter of time, I suppose. This place is cursed. Nice try. I'm done here.
I hear that you traveled. Did you by any chance recover the names?
I did.
If I may, the bearer. The director was a brutal man. He got no...
The registry was all I found beneath it. There was no sign of a body. Nor any record of what happened to the children after.
I pray that at least some of all their names are here. My friends. My light in... I can still remember their faces. Children who were taken from their bunks in the morning. No explanation ever.
They'd be happy to know that you survived.
But why did I make it out alive? When so many others died in that awful place.
It's not your fault. And blaming yourself won't see that their names live on. That way, at least.
I'm going to write a book. An account of the horrors of Badba. All of Valisthea will know, and in the name of those I lost, I will not...
Neither will I.
These records would have been buried for all eternity, were it not for you.
Faster!
This be Mickelberg.
These people aren't turned. And the village seems safe enough at least. What is going on here?
Ah. Did you, too, heed the call?
Heed the call? No, I came here looking for someone. To be honest, I wasn't sure I'd find him here.
Is that so?
What are you doing here? Is this...
It is my home. The others...
You keep saying that.
They came here to perform the rite. Just at this village, where they shall cast their souls upon the gentle water.
Give themselves.
Oh, Lord, cleanse us of our sins.
Let us be reborn in your... Free us from the torment.
They want to be saved. Forgive me. But did another foreigner, like me, come here?
You mean the traveler from Stone? Yes. He's staying at my house.
Thank you.
They seek the same salvation Barnabas did.
Bring us salvation.
At least the third chair still lives. Let's go and find him.
Your friend with the cowl has been staying with me.
Let us be made divine.
Excuse me.
I am. Lord Rosfield.
That's right. And you must be the third chair.
I am.
Cyril was worried for your safety.
Then I must apologize. I did not mean to trouble the bearer of the burning quill. Much less...
He said that you had failed to report.
I came here to study the followers of this new faith. But you have seen them at their prayers. They devote themselves to the veneration of their Lord with a fervor I have never seen, praying night and day that they might be rid of their wicked wills. Not that they might be granted respite from their worldly woes, but so that they might continue serve him with all of their being. I, too, swore to devote my life to the service of my Lord and Master, but this... And so I would see it through, see these people safe, that they might achieve that they might do their duty to their Lord.
You do understand what their dream is?
I do, my lord. They would cast aside their wills and become Akashic. I know that it may be hard to believe, but to these people, that is the very essence. Forgive me, my lord. But I must remain here. Did you hear that, my lord?
I'll go and find out what. Beneath the flood. There must be something I can do. Echoes as well. Found her.
Ready, brother?
Ready. What now? We meet again. I've killed your kind before. Damn it! Don't you die. Come on, speak to me.
I had to save them, that they might have a chance to find true salvation. By devoting themselves to the service of their Lord. Just as I did, when the Undying plucked me from the gutter and gave me a cause to believe in. A duty to serve was everything to me, and I would not deny them that fulfillment, even if they must become a Kashik in order to achieve it. Forgive me, my Lord Marquis. I did not mean to trouble you with this. My findings. Could you deliver them to Master Cyril for me?
Of course. Your duty will be done.
Look, my lord. They are saved.
They are saved. Founder. I should get this report to Cyril.
My Lord Marquis, I am glad to see you here.
I met with your third chair, Cyril. He bade me deliver his findings.
Thank you, my lord. He remained in Ash?
He died protecting the villagers from an act. I buried him in Mickelberg.
If you could not save him...
The villagers, they prayed to their god that they might be unburdened of their... Then an ether flood came. Your brother sacrificed himself that they might live, even knowing that that life...
Then he perished defending liberty. For the right to choose how one dies is no less sacred than the right to choose...
Sid would agree. He wanted to build a world where...
A noble ambition. To die for one's cause is the most... It matters not how misguided others might judge one's decision to be. Only that the decision is one's own. We live according to the teachings of our order. We believe in them, we protect them, and yes, we die for them. For better or worse, that is our creed.
But he didn't die for your creed. He died to save, and you still believe that what he did was...
I believe we of the Undying are not slaves, but willing, and this was his will.
I'd like to know this man's name, to know the names of all the Undying who've fallen in the light. They died serving my house. That is my duty.
Of course. I shall fetch the Book of Martyrs. My lord, it has been the greatest honor of my life to serve. Though our duties may differ, yours is no less important. And were they here, I have no doubt but that every one of my fallen brothers and sisters would feel the same.
yours, Torgal.
There were no guards, I take it?
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the... If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already...
Don't give up hope just yet. But let me check the ground floor.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. Better keep my eyes open for signs of life. So this place was no ordinary prison. And I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled. Minimal loss of Waluda lives. Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that. Now feel good, boy. They were feeding bearers to it. Nothing but Akashic down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on. locked downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents. Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this... pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more, and not just those who could fight, but the elderly, and those who wouldn't, or couldn't, were disposed.
I'm afraid it means that...
Then we're too late.
Don't say that.
A key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on this floor.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right.
Let's see what we can find down here. Survivor. And she sounds close. There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone?
Some of the guards, they're still here. Everyone else...
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't...
Ready when you are. You poor thing. He must have been terrified.
Did Chadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. He must have sent you. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he? He wouldn't be...
Chadwick.
Was that...
Monster's back!
We have to get out of here. All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard... I'll look after the girl. You teach that thing a lesson.
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers. Will wreak havoc if it ever leaves the prison. I can't let that happen. Nice try.
Sid, are you...
I'm fine. What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick. He was here.
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last.
Chadwick.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. I'll see that she's looked after from now on.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days.
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chad.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would... How he fought to the bitter end to save her. That's the man I remember.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to... For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. So we escaped. But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us after so many years of training. The pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought, and he died not as someone's tool.
Haida Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off, and the curse breakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done. For Chadwick.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be counting.
How are you doing? You watch yourself out there, all right?
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. You earned this. All done?
It's usually me making demands of Harpocrates. Lordsman Harpocrates.
Ah, yes. I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
You spoke of making amends with Dion.
Then I should begin by telling you that this was some years ago, of course, before I joined Cid. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly to supervise the young all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should. History, religion, commerce. Alas, our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the Dragoons. His studies no longer... I had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find... His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle, not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know. But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't blame yourself.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him. And I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone, until the day he could not bear it any longer. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only, when what he truly needed, the blame for Dion's transgressions.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that...
Then I beg that you bring me a wild white... Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found, where even the most
Well, it can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous... Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The harsher the environment... There is a waterfall in Rickmal's roost across the strait, where the flowers once grew in abundance. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But... try as I might, I can find no likelier location.
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way or another.
Thank you, Clive. And please, be safe.
Come on. Run like the wind. Seems this place has been flooded twice over. Purple flowers blooming next to a waterfall. Shouldn't be too hard to find. Be safe. Here they are. Might as well big enough for a bunch. Oarsman.
You did?
I think I did.
You did indeed. My dear boy.
You wanted to make Dion a gift of one, did you not? Shall I invite him to join us?
Oh,
It's no trouble. I'll go. Your Highness, would you do me the honor of...
No.
No. Only our lawsman has something he'd like to give you.
Master Harpocrat, no. I daren't, not after everything I have done. I have taken countless innocent lives, all because I was weak. I have sworn to atone for my crimes or die in the attempt, but were I to meet with him again, and see in his...
Then that is all the more reason to test your resolve.
I must, at the very least, offer... Very well, then.
Follow me.
Even now, I hesitate to approach him. What must he think of me?
You'd be surprised.
Master Harpocrates, pray, accept my apologies for leaving your tutelage before my studies were complete. Your lessons opened my mind to a world quite unlike the one I had imagined from within the gilded confines of the palace. And I shall be forever grateful for the efforts you made to enlighten me.
Lift up your head, Your Highness. The deeds of youth require no apology. That you took the time to visit me says much about the man you have become. Now, there is something I would like to show you.
Is that a wyvern tail? The color is unfamiliar to me.
Because it is unique to those found in the wild. Something in the harsh environments in which they grow lends them this striking hue. Their roots are indistinguishable from those of their hothouse cousins, but once they bloom, the difference is immediately apparent. In this flower, I see you, Your Highness. Its roots were the roots of a wyvern tail, with all that implies. But they do not define it, just as yours do not define you. I want you to have it, that it might remind you of this truth.
Master Harpocrates, I would ask of you a service. Keep your gift until I have fulfilled my duty to the realm, for only then shall I be deserving of it.
As you wish, Your Highness. I shall await your return.
Our roots do not define us. No wonder my stepmother didn't like him. For reuniting me with memories I had thought long lost. I shall not forget this.
Thank you, Clive. Were it not for you, I fear I might never have found the right moment to speak with him. Not to mention the wyvern tales. I shall plant their seeds, that I might not disappoint His Highness upon his return.
I hope the soil in the hideaway is to their liking.
Why, these flowers bloomed in the bleak, black wastes of Waloed.
What's this?
A stolas quill, or more precisely, it is said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime. All those words just waiting, so consider this my wish for you, that one day You may put down your...
Well, when that day comes, I'll certainly have a... Thank you, Harpocrates. Joshua, I read your message. You're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but since we returned...
I suppose it's not hard to...
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still... To let her know that we still need her. Now more than ever. That you still need her. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the Dutch, and Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Mans?
To see the snow daisies, I remember. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boys combing the countryside.
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made out. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he...
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished business.
Mans Hill.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria remains as it was when we...
You're saying I should go and scout the area for bandits?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are actually still any... What would you do without me, Clive?
this is the place, but...
I'm sorry, Clive.
There's nowhere been spared.
We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only place where snow...
Perhaps, but it's the only place I know of.
Then why not ask someone who might know?
Someone in the backyard. Let's hope one of the gardeners knows where to find snow daisies.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. It's rubbing me blind, you know. Is that all?
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen...
Oh. What brings you down from the heavens?
I need your advice. Joshua and I are looking for a place where snow daisies grow. Preferably in abundance.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too hot and not too cold. And where the winds are strong enough to... I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. There in the Royal Meadows, both have similar climbs and the right elevation.
Right.
Did you learn where we might find out?
The gardener here mentioned the Royal Meadows.
Ah, the fields beyond Northreach. Well, if that's the case, then I recalled that she kept a record of our travels, so I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew, and she...
Whose shores border the meadows.
And how might I help the garrison today?
The Duke has pledged to work with the people of Northreach to rebuild the Empire.
Come on.
Yeah!
shadows are vast. Where do we even start?
Yote mentioned the coastline. We can start there.
Look, brother. You see them? What do you see, boy? Let's hope this is the last one.
Only one way to find out.
That was harder than I expected. But found her. It was worth it. They're beautiful.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the sky. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
something about it. I feel like it's calling to me.
Jill.
There is? And where might this something be?
It's, not here. Now, I know this is sudden, but how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. The smile on your face is enough. We've been worried about you. Joshua and I. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill? Or tried to?
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into. But I couldn't bear to see you like that.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best. I felt so trapped, so lonely.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling. Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized that no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
I don't know. Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through,
The realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
I never was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive. For this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure. We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
And we'll do it together.